All right, just a word of housekeeping. Yeah, a few extra hosts. That's good news. Thank you. It came probably as no surprise to my mom and dad. In fact, it probably comes to no surprise to most parents, including Mary and Joseph, that kids are going to discover their own path, right? And most of the time they do, just as Jesus did. It comes as no surprise as parents. You have to come to the realization you've got a whole lot less control over your children and where they end up and who they become and how they see the world and how they're going to deal with blessings and challenges in life than you think you do. Parents come to accept the kids also, or the fact that sometimes kids get lost, and at least from the parents' perspective, and there's often little you can do to get them unlost. And kids learn as they grow up. Parents aren't perfect. And if your parents ever read the book, How to Raise Perfect Children Perfectly, they must have skipped some parts, right? I mean, every child learns that their parents are doing or did the best they could, but you're kind of stuck with them. You can't trade them in for a newer model, right? So parents are fully aware often that they do fail or fall short. And there's no one that little bit of truth hurts more than parents themselves. Family life, right? Wives, you can love your husband so much and at the same time whether they've heard a single thing you've said over the last number of years, right? And husbands are worried, though most won't admit, that whether or not their wife still finds them attractive after all these added years and pounds. And has any one of you ever sat at a kitchen table, or not rather sat at a kitchen table, surrounded by even the most loving family, and still you feel, alone, disconnected? Maybe there's secrets or fears that are hidden far beneath the acceptable table conversation. That's family. And to celebrate the feast of the Holy Family when our own families stand in such stark contrast seems almost contradictory or dishonest, but it's not. Because if there's anything that the Feast of the Holy Family teaches us, is that holiness in family is not dependent upon perfection, nor biology, even less about recognized legal status. It's about not conforming to conventional norms and certainly not about living happily ever after. It's about one thing. It's about love. As St. Paul says, it's that bond that brings it all together. Holiness in family, whatever size or shape, begins with believing first that we are loved by God and then committing ourselves to reflect that love in our own imperfect lives. It's not about being without flaws. It's about forming hearts that are big enough in the midst of those imperfections and uncertainties and doubts and fears that life dishes out to be able to just still love. It's not about building a bigger house with more rooms. It's about creating safe places in your homes right now where you can live and laugh and believe that we are loved no matter what. Holiness in family is not about faultless relationships. It's just about never stopping to work to form those relationships where everyone is welcomed and accepted. Holiness in family, my friends, is sacramental. It is about proclaiming the presence of God. And in that, there is no difference from the Holy Family that we honor in our liturgy today. We're all called to that. We are all called to do our part to proclaim to the world, Emmanuel, God is with us.